Okay, so this guy asked where I am, what state I'm in. I'm in Washington State, but it doesn't matter. Anywhere in Western civilization that you have a custody battle, it's pretty much the same battle because the thing is the war of attrition. Each courthouse in a different state has a little bit of different rules, but the warfare is still the same. If you have a battle in, World War II in Germany or, you know, um, in Japan or, you know, Afghanistan, Iraq, you know, or whatever, other countries facing each other. War is still war. War is still hell. There's aspects of it that are going to be the same. You got to beat the other side down until they hold up the white flag, or you kill them and take them out. In family court, you beat the other side down until they surrender, or you get on the offensive and expose them and take them out, take their arguments out, take their credibility out. You counter strike. Every time they strike, you strike back. This is where I have these videos about the war of attrition. I have testimonies from all across the world. If you go to, if you type in the hashtag HIGC testimony on YouTube, you will see several videos where I show you an email from somebody or a random text message I got. Sometimes, it's somebody that I talked to a couple of years ago and or even farther back, and then they hit me up or they find me online and say, "Oh, you're online now," or they met me in Washington State in my office or whatever. Like, "Oh, I didn't know you had a YouTube channel or you got a new Instagram or a new platform." So I don't get, I stopped counting at 300 the number of dads that I worked with that got full custody. I've never met an attorney who's helped 10 dads get full custody. That's in contested cases where there's a fight, not where everybody's agreeing. So, I stopped counting like years and years ago about that. I stopped counting before, like one of my haters, Texas Penal Code 2503, we're on the same team, getting dads involved, getting the law enforcement involved when you got a writ of habeas corpus. He's never had success with that. I've had several successes with that. I helped 300 dads get full custody before that guy even started 8 years ago. That's when I stopped counting about 8 years ago. And he's sitting there saying, "I got more shares and followers than you do." And? You got any wins in court? You got one single win you can account for? I got wins in my case, wins in other cases. Back to the how I got custody, but I'm sorry, the HIGC testimony, how I got custody testimony. That's what the abbreviation is for. Um, Anybody could be scamming anybody. I could be using CGI or whatever. You see how plain and simple all my videos are. I'm not going to fake an email or a phone call. But if you watch enough of my videos and you see that's why I put my winning orders out there so you don't have to question anything. You see my winning orders. And I did a video because somebody said, "Well, you got custody, but you lost." This is what delusion, and that was a delusional female who hated on me. And then I had a guy that came by and said that, but I had already answered the delusional female. And I went online and did a video showing me going online and showing you my docket. And if you wanted to go, and in my docket, it shows final parenting plan, and it has the same date as the parenting plan I show you online. Look, so if you go to my flow page, and Google flow page, father's rights, you'll get here, or it's under every YouTube video. You scroll down here, and there's a section that says proof James won in court, and custody order, my first trial at contempt, a couple of appeals, a transcript. There's a short period of time when I went back to court a few years later, and I got an attorney because I was scared to go to trial, and I did all the work, and my attorney got complimented at this court hearing. And the judge said, "Wow, I really appreciate the attorney's briefing on James's argument." And my attorney said, "It wasn't me. James wrote it." And he goes, "Oh, maybe he should go to law school." And there's a winning order from that when I wrote the paperwork and told the attorney what to do. That's why I don't, when you guys say, "I can't tell my attorney what to do," you're full of crap. You just don't have any balls to be the boss of the person who's your subservient that you're paying $400 an hour. Anyway, so you can see like stuff like my winning custody order. And boom, it's an actual order with actual signatures. I think I have the certified stamp. Yeah, it says certified copy up there, timestamp, all this stuff. And then if you don't believe it, okay, it says October 29th, 2001. Whoops, October 29th, 2001. You could go online. I did a whole video about going online and looking at my docket. So if you type in my case number online and click on it, then you could see under document list up here. So I'm clicking and it's freezing and thinking. Document list. And then you see initially, here's, let's see, where's my contempt? My contempt was the day after 9/11. Right here, motion hearing, order to show cause, report of guardian ad litem. Whoops, I'm sorry, let's see. 9/12 motion hearing, order on show cause regarding contempt. They wrote that wrong. So sub number 35 is my winning contempt order. I show you that back out here in my flow page. There's my contempt order. If you click on that, there's my contempt order. And then here it is in the docket with the same thing. Now, when we finalize the parenting plan, you see this highlighted thing. It says parenting plan final order. And then if you scroll through my whole docket, you will never see another parenting plan again. You'll see proposed ones maybe, but you'll never see a new final order out of all 1,100 documents in and out of my court file. See, look, I was there until 8/13. So I was in and out of court. There's 2020, 2019, 2016, 2015, 14. You see these dates right here and my sub numbers. 14, 13. There must be some gap somewhere. Like 12, 2011, 2010, 2009. There's one little, oh, that's nothing. So 2009, I wasn't really in court. 2008, 7. There's got to be a gap here. There's not really nothing in 2006. So 2000, I think it was 8 and 2006. There was nothing going on, but, there was something going on every year in my daughter's life in this court case. And that whole skimming through my docket shows that I've been in and out of court. I was in and out of court for 19 years. And some of you guys, oh, you got it easy. Your case is over and done with real quick. First of all, I went through hell the first 7 months. So you're an excuse making little sissy vagina if you blow off what I went through and the hell I went through leading up to going to court. So, but back to this main point, what state are you in, brother? I told the guy, it doesn't matter what state I am in Washington, but it doesn't matter. I help people all across the country. I got testimonials from all across the country. So again, if you look at that hashtag HIGC testimony, type it in on YouTube, you'll find a bunch of testimonies. I started doing it on Instagram. I don't know why I only did it on Instagram. My YouTube channel has been my longest standing social media platform. And then my Instagram got deleted. I had like 15,000 followers on, TikTok at one point, a few thousand on Instagram. I'd probably be at least 25,000 on Instagram now, maybe 100,000 on TikTok, the way it skyrocketed. I've been banned like 5 or 6 times after getting, a few thousand here, a few thousand there. That's why it's so gay when George from Texas Penal Code 2503 says, I got more shares than you got followers. Dude, I've been around since 2001 helping people before social media was a thing. So for a decade, I was helping people all across the world. I had a website in about 2008, and people were finding me all across the world there. And people were finding the Dads Against Discrimination website where I volunteered on the phone and answered phone calls, and I'd give people answers. And they'd say, well, it sounds like, what you're doing. Can I get some help from you? And then so I would do my own side consulting after that. And, they wanted me to continue to answer their phones because I was the most knowledgeable person there outside of the guy who mentored me, who was getting burnt out like most fathers' rights advocates do. Anyway, it doesn't matter what state I'm in. The battle is the same. We can go online and find your court rules. I just spent, I did a couple consults with a guy in one particular state. Let's just pretend it's Minnesota. This isn't it, but I did a consult with a guy in Minnesota. We went through the local rules, the state rules, the resources, the family court facilitator, and he did a bunch of research in a week. He did a follow-up consult with me. He bought some of my stuff in my store, and now that dude is ready to rock and roll. He's on top of it more than the average person. That's how it should be done, but that's rare. But Again, doesn't matter what state.